Gemini, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading that is yours and theirs. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Like always with yours and theirs, take what resonates, leave it does not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. More so with yours and theirs, as energy exchange and interchange is real, rapid, and fluid. Having said that, your person that I see on this board today may include, yes, absolutely, the energies of a significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, even an ex, sure, but also may include energies that relate to work, family, goals, spiritual development, friendship. You know, it happens a lot, so just make space for it, yeah? But regardless, going back to the main point, take what resonates, leave what does not. Okay, what's going on? Show me Gemini, their person. I'm going to put that baseline down, clarify, and then, of course, oracles. Show me Gemini. What's up for you? The Emperor, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. Oh, don't you look badass? Yes. And you're like, thank you. Four of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Six of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the World. Judgment. It is your call, and you're going to make some good choices here. Right now, your judgment is leaning towards effective immediately, apparently, is kind of a new beginning in love. All right? But for many of you, judgment represents a long-standing decision to move your heart space forward into new love, self-love, something. For others of you, you might use judgment to exercise communication to this, and that's up to you. Okay, Tarot's a proof of choice, not the absence of it. But I can definitely see with the Gemini I'm looking at, you could be leaning on either side of that particular fence. Okay, it really comes down to who you are as a person. I don't know. A cycle here is definitely closing out. All right. And that's really not a surprise to the Gemini I'm looking at. So if that's the sense, and many of you know this, and you're preparing for it, you're more spiritually inclined towards it, you might be in a readiness position to go for new love. For others of you, you may not be in that space yet. You might still be trying to communicate to that which is cycling out. Okay? We're going to start right there with judgment. I will say this, just because someone's energetically holding on to you does not mean that they love you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. In fact, more often than not, the holding on thing represents the stuff in us that's unhealed. But anyway, we'll get there. I'm curious to see how you will proceed. Okay? I only advise you that proceed from a place of empowerment and lessons learned. That's it. Judgment. Let's take a look at judgment. Okay. The World. 9 of Cups. A Tower. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for me. I was like, which way are they going? They're going to open their heart back into the place where something is shutting down? Or are you going to move yourself forward and declare this? We're declaring. Whoa. Whoa. That's a loud declaration, my friend. The World, 9 of Cups, the Tower. This is done. This does not bring joy. Okay. Nowhere near it. You said, I'm done. I'm done. The biggest factor for you is ever pretending that you were like very happy with this at all. Wow. There's something here about lessons and that, tolerating something long past the point you should have done. That's kind of catching up to the Gemini I'm looking at. Stop pretending that you were so happy with this. Learn your lesson sooner rather than later. Don't ignore the call. This kind of thing. Because there's something here about compounding interest rolling up on you all at one time. And that the more you deny your true wants, wishes, and forms or acts of self-love, the bigger the shock wave, I suppose, that comes in for you and anything else that's being affected by it. So we have a lesson here. It's like, next time, don't delay what you know. Act on it. You know, that's pretty harsh. It's pretty straightforward, but you're also like, I get it too. Okay. The Emperor, Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Wow. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, no, this is definitely being closed out. The Emperor. Seven of Cups, Knights of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. It would please your heart, and you're something you've been feeling, and you acknowledge that, and you are working with it. You're rolling with it. It's going to be a slow roll, but nonetheless, it's on point. It's like, I'm going to open my heart up, and I'm going to do it with full ownership. You're saying, I'm in a space now, and I will continue to be in a space of being open to give and receive love. This is coming from a place of authority and you, empowerment. In other words, you very much mean it. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, by the way, for showing me that. I was like, which way are they going to roll? Because I was like, I see you expressing your heart, but I also see someone who isn't necessarily giving. And then I saw the world. It's like, are we talking to something that's by all rights on its way out the door? Or are you showing me readiness for new? Okay. Eight of Wands. All right, Gemini. All right, I got you. Eight of Wands. What's up? Let's see the Eight of Wands, please. I'm not saying you're perfect. I'm not saying you're completely ready to go. You're going to have natural human responses and misgivings and things like that. But the point is that you are moving yourself forward. Oh boy. And how? Eight of Wands. King of Swords. 10 of Wands and Justice. You are communicating that this is the right thing for you to do. It is not any easier on you. But you are, again, once more, just stating your actions and intentions with phenomenal clarity. That way your words cannot be misunderstood. But you're saying, once more, I assume responsibility. I, Gemini, assume responsibility here. And this is what's correct for me. I'm communicating my actions and intentions thusly. So you're letting everybody know there's no mystery here. There should be no question about what you're doing or what you're up to. You're making it phenomenally clear. That way there's no shadows, there's no hidden features, there's no clauses, nothing like that. You are being dead on serious about your intentions, your actions. You're moving in the direction of love, and that you are doing something that's right for you, and you are assuming once more full ownership of it. Oh my. You are coming across a little bit as a hard ass, but like I said, it's almost like at this point, given your opening and the of that, it's almost like you're making up for lost time. You know? Ace of Cups. Let's see that Ace of Cups, please. Let's see your Ace of Cups. The Stars. Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles. Okay. Your heart's not available to this person. Whoa. Damn. Wow. Who the did I tune into? Jeez. Yeah. You have every intention of opening your heart to new love. But you're saying again, it's just, wow, you're making things super duper clear. Like, just so there's no confusion, Christina. Just so there's no confusion, Christina. Just so there's no confusion. Zero fucking confusion. I will not be pointing my heart, its precious energy, or anything else towards this. I'm out. I'm 1,000% out. Once upon a time, yes, you used to associate them with something more, a star, a vision that never came to completion, fruition, or you felt ultimately that it was a futile reach. So the star requires us to reach. It's not as simple as the sun, and it's no guarantee that we'll get it just because we're reaching for it. And you're like, I know. I reached for this person, this connection for a long time. I tell you, there was a strong lesson in here. Don't see, this is what happens when you deny what's going on. And it caught up to you all at once with phenomenal force. And that was a call that you just could not ignore. So here we have in Judgment. This is, of course, the angel Gabriel, who's associated with the horn, the calling. Okay. That's where we get the sense of divine timing, the call. It comes through when it comes through, but with it comes packing lessons that you would be foolish not to listen to. And that tells me then you've been receiving this call for a while, given the Tower, Nine of Cups, and the World. Right? Oh my. And it's like, I get it. And you're going to live a life now in a particular direction and forward momentum. It's almost like you're making up for it. So just so long as you're in alignment, that's all. That's all I care about. Okay? So far, your marching orders are in alignment with the feeling and the thought. Okay? You said your heart is open to new adventures, new possibilities in love, but one thing you've made it clear is that you will not go back, put hope or faith into that which you understand in some way still holds on to you. So let's talk about that. Okay. Oh my. That was... Oh my. That's packing. You know, it's so funny. Aquarius showed me a lot of history in hindsight, something that they were contemplating. And you're like, this just happened like last Tuesday, and wow, it's very upfront. Yes, very upfront, very in your face. It's very much in my face too, to be fair. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Oh my, was not expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. This is something. Queen of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Two of Wands. They're holding out because their heart space is still looking backwards towards you. It's still kind of hoping to tempt you over. It's waiting for you to come back. It's holding on to something from you from their own personal heart space. They still have emotional attachment to you. They're saying they want to give and receive some sort of love from you, but to be clear, they're looking at you expecting you to deliver it and for it to wash up on their shore. Until then, they're showing restraint. Four of Pentacles is kind of like, no, Gemini knows they still love me. It's going to come back any day. I'd like to know where that's coming from. Because from you, no. That's not how you're rolling the dice. And that's not your cards. Like, literally not in your cards. Where's that coming from? That's a little bold there. You know? They still expect some sort of expression, communication, or show of love from you. And they're just kind of waiting. So, what's up with that? Let's see that King of Wands, please. What? And you're like, you're being as clear with them as you are with me. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. And they're like, yeah, no, I know. But you still want to show me some love, though, right? I'm confused. I'm confused. Let's see that King of Wands, please. What's up with that? Okay. I'm a little confused by that. I'm just a little confused. I'm a little confused. Let's see that King of Wands. I don't like being confused, guys. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit. They expect you to make up with them any day. See that Knight of Pentacles? They're like, yeah, no, the Gemini's going to come my way. They're come over here for some good healing. You do have to come to me. But come over here for some good healing. We'll heal. We'll totally heal. They authentically believe this. They think that on your way out, you'll choose a path where... No wonder I opened up with that, hasn't he? Do they expect you to? Why do they expect you to? Even I'm like, Gemini, are you going to put that love back in over here? This is closing out. Are you sure you want to point your cup in there? They expect you to. What? Okay. Let's get okay. Ace of Swords, please. Now, don't get me wrong. They're showing me a willingness to heal themselves, mind you, once you come back to their shore. But they're like, you and I. You bring your Knight of Pentacles. You know, you go do what you need to do. But eventually you'll come back over here. and we'll heal. It'll be great. It'll be gravy. It'll be awesome. Ace of Swords. It'll be good times. What am I looking at? Let's see that Ace of Swords, please. It's I need to be walked through this person's thinking and expectations. Let's see that Ace of Swords, please. The Magician, the Knight of Cups, the Moon. They secretly, not so secretly, still desire your love. They're pulling it in. It's part of their truth, but it's an unknown truth to them under the moon. It's under the moon. I mean, that's active denial. And they still want your love. They kind of made that clear. They're expecting you to show up with it in some way. And then that is going to lead from their point of view into a state of healing between you two. Okay. But underneath it all, Ace of Swords is a moon. And that moon is that they are manifesting your love to point back to them. To be available to them again. I got to see this. Six of Wands, Ten of Cups, the World. I need to see why this is shutting down. Because, yes, that's active denial. But and while they are waiting for your love to come back, it's just to like prove that you two can still heal. But underneath that is a selfish want to pull on your love energies. And it's a truth they're not in touch with yet. They honestly believe you two can heal, but you got to show it back their way though. Okay? But no, secretly they still very much desire your romantic energies, your romantic attentions, your love attentions, your loving expressions. Okay, let's see that Six of Wands, please. I'm trying to... Nine of Cups, there it is. Knights of Pentacles, yes. Nine of Pentacles. There's that sense of self, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. You strongly associate competence with success, and I understand that. Strong sense of self, individuation, you associate it with success. There's something about you that took pride in this connection as I can do it, I can achieve it. I believe you. That doesn't necessarily mean you were completely honest with yourself about wanting it, but you're saying I can do it. It was like you were proving it to yourself. Okay. This is definitely proving it to myself energy. And I did see your Nine of Cups definitely show up under judgment and being honest with yourself. That does this really make you happy? Just because you can show up and put yourself into this doesn't mean that you were supposed to. Something like that. It's almost like you were in competition with you about how well you could show up and put the best of yourself into this. Let's see that Ten of Cups. I am working very hard to understand this one. I'm looking for the bullet, guys. What is... Death. Page of Cups. There it is. Thank you. There it is. I'm looking for the bullet. I'm looking for the silver bullet specifically to kind of take down this monster. It's like, what is this? Okay, fine. They're showing me a little bit of emotional arrogance by expecting you to come back through. But as far as I can tell, they authentically believe they can heal with you, and it's just a matter of time before you show back, and that's because up until recently you did. Am I right? Because you could. You had something to prove. You had something to prove. I can show up to this whenever. It's my job. It's my responsibility, man. It makes me happy. I can put all of myself into this. And it's not that it made you happy, but it was like you were fulfilling a role. You're like, this is my role. And you associated that role with a strong sense of personal achievement based on your ability to show up to it. That doesn't mean you authentically love this as much as you thought you did. But it's like, this is my role and I'm fulfilling my role. It's part of the Ten of Cups. This is my gig. This is my responsibility. And it's how I show up to them. But then why do you see yourself as an individual figure within a greater context? That was a problem. It's almost like you didn't want to be faulted for not doing your job in this connection. See, this is where everybody's readings are different, you know? It's like, oh, all you're saying is that they're ending. There's stuff behind it, a lot of it, that makes us different and shows our own sense of individuation and personhood and what leads up to things and the mechanical workings of the human existence. And this is just one of them. And I think this shit's absolutely fascinating. And this is one of the reasons why I read tarot. They have their own sense of hidden truths and hidden agendas like everybody else. Yeah, there's a little bit of emotional arrogance in there. But they really do anticipate your loyalty to this day. And I can see why you made it a point to always show up, to give your best, and you associated with that success and achievement, but not necessarily true fulfillment. But that's why they expect you to. It's because it's something you've always done. But not because it authentically pleased you. Not because you love this connection the way you love yourself, but because you saw it as a role for which you had to fulfill. You told yourself to fulfill, to take pride in it. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing right, am I right? And that's how you treated this like a job. I'm not going to knock you for that. I'm not going to knock you for that. And that's how people speak a love language. My job is to fulfill a role, to provide something like that. And for some people it works. That identification works. That ID badge works. And one day you go to swipe it and maybe you gain entry to the building that day, maybe you don't. But the point is that you realize you don't want to show up to that building anymore. You wonder how the hell you got the job. You're like, did I choose this? I must have, because I show up here every damn day. And I put my best foot in it every day. There's something like that that's happened for you. And whatever this Ten of Cups is on the display, your sense of role was always fulfilled. But on the display, it's shoddy. It's not harmonized at all. Death. Page of Cups, Five of Swords. There's lie. There's lie in this. There's a lot of lie about role fulfillment and emotional fulfillment and who does what and why. Or it's changed so much you don't recognize it. I think that's closer to the point. It's changed so much that you don't recognize it, and specifically you don't recognize yourself in it. At some point, somewhere in the back of your mind, you must have figured this out. So you're like, I'm going to start seeing this as an assignment where I'm going to be dedicated and show up to it every day. Fault or fails, I always say. And that's how we knew, or should have known, that we were trying to meet the job requirements without having to take the job personally anymore. And I keep coming back to that because that's how you kind of saw it as your personal assignment that you had to fulfill, because it gave you a sense of joy and accomplishment. It was a vanity thing, maybe an ego thing. It's not an accusation, don't take it as one. It's just you had to find a way to fit into this or find yourself, be able to recognize yourself in it again. Am I right? So you started telling yourself a different cover story about why you kept the same job or the same connection. But this is no good. Whatever was here, and this isn't just you, it takes two. There are many things about this connection they fail to recognize too, and that they were deluding themselves about too, and that there has been a lot of transformation for everybody, but nobody's recognizing the role and the part they don't want to play anymore. Okay, that's self-sabotage bullshit over a larger construct. You can have a lot of Five of Swords running around in families, and look how that goes down. You know? I get it. At some point, your role stopped making sense to you, so you saw it as an achievement thing. And that's why, even I hesitated at the opening. Are you going to point that heart space? in that sense of direction. It's someone who's holding on to you, but that's okay. Or are you actually going to go for new? That's because they fucking expect. God, that's foreshadowing, honey. That is foreshadowing. That was foreshadowing. It's because they expected you to. You always have. Up until recently. You feel free to share what that moment of time was when the pin dropped. When the pin. Oh. Oh. They used my own willingness to fulfill this role against me. And I kind of allowed it. That's why they don't expect me to change. And they don't expect me to move forward. Or even if I do move forward, they expect me inevitably to come back and make peace. They expect it. They still expect your emotional attention. That's the most I can say, but I promise you, that's because they're not in tune with the larger picture yet. And then perhaps for them in time, I'm not focusing on them right now, but in time, they will understand how they contributed to the sabotage of this. Okay, let's, Oh my, I need a breath, honey. I need a breath. Yours is absolutely complicated, but one of the reasons why I get into this, you know, I know they have good spots in them too, just like you do. You have a strength of will that's phenomenal. You have a mind, and then you're a willingness to assume responsibility. I haven't seen that kind of shit in a long time. Look at that. Yeah, I know it's hard, and I assume this. I've already come to that conclusion. I know what's technically correct. This is not going to be... I assume it. I assume responsibility. I know what I'm doing. I'm a big Gemini. Leave me alone. That's not leave me alone. It's like, but again, you're making your actions and intentions clear. Because they don't expect you to stay there, do they? No, I didn't. Look, you see, they expect you to rock your little Knight of Pentacles back over to them. No wonder you keep repeating yourself. Oh, God. Oh, wow. They're not taking you seriously. That was their first mistake. You know, and I'll tell you why. Look at how often you showed up to this even when you didn't want to. And you told yourself you would. This is a matter of accomplishment, Gemini. Stay in there. Stay in the game. Stay focused. You have a job to do. You adopted that mentality to get you by. To be cool with it. And that's how you contributed to self-sabotage. You were not cool with it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why, if there was ever real true inner circle emotional equilibrium with this person in the greater scheme of things, I don't know. Perhaps there was once upon a time, but it's gotten so warped over the years that it was just easier for you to see yourself as an individual operating in a larger unit. And at least you could account for your side, right? Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is very fresh, you guys. Very fresh. Very fresh. The world. Let's say that world. Oh my. Oh my. So strong. Oh, so strong. 7 of Wands. 3 of Wands. The Fool. Yeah. Even now, as this thing is closing out, I still got someone here in denial. Well, 3 of Wands. I have the insistence that this cycle is going to close. I also have the anti-insistence that it's going to close. Or rather, that it's not going to. On both energies. Like, this is closing, this is closing, this is happening. They're like, okay. They're not taking you seriously. You're telling them not to wait, and they're like, okay, we'll see. Again, I don't think they're necessarily a bad person. They actually have a lot of beautiful elements, but they're not. They think with you it's just a matter of time and patience, but they're still trying to draw from you love that you don't seem to be interested in expressing to them, that you don't have for them. So I'm glad that you have your mind aimed towards a particular direction. You're assuming responsibility. You're showing me empowerment. You're going to keep your heart open to be giving and receiving to something else, just not this. Anything else but this, really. You say you won't go back to the old vision because that vision don't work. I actually agree with you. But their conviction's a little high that this is temporary cycling. This is temporary world. Seems to me that was a pretty damned hard opening. Okay. I don't know at what point things for you started to shift and transition. Yeah, I know I saw that for you, honey. I know. And they see it in you too, and to some way they played into it. There's that ego, vanity, and pride. Once more, we all have ego. Everybody. I wish people would understand how ego works. We all have it. We all have it. It's to be human. There's two parts to ego, like anything else. There's the healthy, and then there's the unhealthy. Like anything, all energies, all elements, kings, queens, emperors, empresses, they all have pros, thus they have cons. Healthy ego keeps us alive. Unhealthy ego keeps dragging us in another direction that says, insists that naked emperor is indeed wearing clothes. You know? I know. And for some of you, last fall represents the turning point when you understood a lot of things about yourself and this connection. And how it was pride that kept you going. Perhaps it was vanity that was holding you back. A sense, I can't accomplish. I get that, honey. I'm an accomplisher too. I have that same frame of mind. If I don't have a bigger goal to reach for, then what's the fucking point? But do you see where the con can come into play? I have to accomplish this. I have to be victorious. Okay? Anyway, we have a life-changing... I get it, honey. I get it. I totally fucking get it. You're assuming that decision right there. Life-changing decision via separation. I understand. I'm sorry they're not... I'm going to say it for like it is, y'all. I'm sorry they're not taking it seriously. Yet. That's where I like to say something. It's not a you problem. Okay? Time will dispel the myth. Okay? But right now they're rocking that myth. Okay. I know. Communicate clearly. So you are. You're making yourself very clear. And yes, wait. Listen to your intuition. So yes, and then wait. I'm not telling you to wait. The idea is, I strongly associate that with you wanting to open up to new love and that you want to, but that's not going to be a right away thing. I just see that you're in a space now where you're preparing for it and you're closing out cycles to make sure that it can happen later down the line. Listen to your intuition along the way, but yes, absolutely communicate clearly. You seem to understand that this is what I need to do because someone does not expect you to follow through. Okay? Let that hit. Well, I'm trying to challenge you. I don't want you to feel challenged, but let that hit your ego. We have the letters P, S, and then we have the twin dolphins in unison, playful and loving. You know, one day you'll have an equal. Okay? We have the sense of chakras in the upright, wanting to get that in alignment. And then we have the spider web. You know, the spider naturally is a beautiful creature and actually speaks to symmetry. And building a web, we catch what's appropriate and we let go or release what isn't. And do you want to continue to build the web of your life around this? Or they clearly want to with you. So you kind of get to pick and choose what should be in your web. Okay? Or do you want to be caught in someone else's? We have the medallions of Taurus, Leo, and Aries. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to. And then also their seasons might be important to you. Okay. Gemini, honey, this one was absolutely fascinating. It's happening fast, but it looks fast. But you're kind of jumping me into your reality. Wow. I mean, the insistence, oh, it's not over, but the kind of build-in behind it suggests an unhealthy attitude about love and our places in each other's lives that suggests we've been lying for a while. And the other person, oh, it's not over, it's not over, it's not over. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, I hope this, at the end of the day, helped you. This one was absolutely fascinating. And this one's going to be in one or two groups, either A, yours, or B, not. That's it. Like I said, I hope it helped. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.